but this will still be such a huge win if they get this. There's no reason to think they won't. They've got 5 map points here. And some of Na'Vi have FAMAS.
Yeah, I mean, I think in order for Na'Vi to win out these rounds, they can't just play standard. They have to just keep applying the random pushes and pressure.
And now it's going to be Pasha versus Makarov at long A with Orbs.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pasha gets him.
Zeus is actually
now Neo is heading to Catwalk. Starix is going into B tunnel, so he's going to be able to call that they're all A.
They're actually going to end up fighting here at Catwalk. Little battle. Zeus gets taken out. It's unfortunate. But Say9 has actually lurked up. He can get 2 kills here. Oh, he doesn't...
And now Starix is coming behind them.
He actually spammed Neo through the box by accident. He didn't mean to do that.
Oh, they couldn't work together to take out Edward. And now Starks was allowed to get up behind them, and that was...
Oh, that's a nice round.
That was actually really bad timing by FX. There was 3 of them who could have just looked down and killed Edward, who actually I think had fairly low health, and a FAMAS, and head height disadvantage. But by messing around, they let Starks run up behind them and take the free shots onto them. So Na'Vi keep the game alive. This is where it gets exciting though, if Na'Vi can keep winning rounds.
Yeah, FX are actually on a full save, or not.
I mean, there's only four rounds left, so if somehow Na'Vi can keep at least some kind of gun each, this is vaguely doable. I mean, obviously
this is so blind. He's gonna get glocked right here.
Oh, but Pasha gets the AK. Cuban gets the AK rather, and then he takes out Markov.
Oh, this would be a bad way to lose a final right here. They're actually planning for Catwalk. I've been planning for spawn.
Well, at least Edward gets the first.
Neo planning for spawn right here. Cuban actually...
Oh, Starks takes the first one so easily. Now he's trying to push through. He's going so quickly.
Cuban's actually got the bombs planted for spawn right here. So this is... Oh, this
1v1.
is game. There's almost no way SNA can win this round. He doesn't even know the bomb's planted down there.
What if he goes really, really fast?
Yeah.
Nah, there's nothing he can do there. Wow.
That's a way to lose the finals.
That was one of the most entertaining Dust 2s I've seen in a long time, though.
Yeah, usually they can be kind of boring with one team just spending, you know, a minute 30 kind of splitting up the map, but FX really just put on that really aggressive...
Both teams were just like fucking swinging for the fences non-stop.
Yep. That was really nice play by FX, though.
What's funny is, this tournament in the group stage was actually pretty boring. Even the upsets weren't that fun.
Yeah.
But the actual playoffs has been pretty badass, the games we've watched.
Yeah, the playoffs were all really enjoyable. The first 2 days, I was just wondering, like, are any of these matches going to be exciting? All those show matches that we did, that we didn't plan on doing, they were like 65, so, yeah, it was just, like, the FX SK one theoretically should have been a good match, but I guess FX cared a lot more about winning this tournament than that show match.
That also shows how strange things can work out, because FX lose to SK in the show match big. Then they lose to WinFact on Nuke, however legitimate that was. Then they come back, and despite Na'Vi being like progressively more and more on fire throughout the playoffs, they managed to beat Na'Vi in like impressive fashion.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, FX definitely deserved to win this final. I definitely think that they're just solidifying themselves as like one of the best teams in the world right now. I mean, Navi's obviously still in the top 3, but
I think I'm willing to say that FX is the best team in the world now.
Yeah, I mean, SK.
I mean, they've got the pedigree to back them up now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they've beaten everyone. It'd be one thing if they hadn't have played SK, for example, and you thought, oh, well, maybe SK just have a bad matchup against Na'Vi. But they beat SK, they beat Na'Vi at E-Stars, they beat Na'Vi here in a best of 3 in 2 maps. So, I mean, this is looking really nice for FX. It's the first time in a while that they've been the best team in the world as well.
Yep. I mean,
in fact, realistically, it's the first time in years that they've been the best team in the world at all.
Well, I mean, like, usually this many good teams don't win this many different amount of titles in a year either. Like, it's kind of weird how this year worked. I mean, Fnatic started off the year by opening it up, winning the first title, then Navi won, and then they had a little bit of a break of tournaments, and then I think who won the
FX
next
won
one?
Xperia.
Yeah, then FX won Xperia, then
And
SK
Navi beat
stole
them at the
Delpan.
ICSC one.
Oh yeah,
Then SK gets the new
Yeah.
lineup. They win DreamHack.
and then they won the
Game Goon.
yeah,
Then FX wins E-Stars.
and then FX won
This
this
is
tournament.
this is the most fun type of scenario where you actually have a bunch of elite teams, and then the matchups. There's no one team who has the best matchup against everyone. Everyone has someone they don't want to run into that can make a bad game for them.
Yeah,
That's why it really sucks that MTW are thinking of hanging it up.
I think
'Cause
MTW
MTW
actually
was-
have the best chance of beating FX for the most
I didn't-
part.
Yeah, those two teams play the best games in my opinion, and so MTW is like the catalyst for making good games, because MTW against any of those three teams is usually like a badass series.
Yep, MTW can always make games close. They rarely get blown out. They put in too much work and too much time anti-stratting, creating like new tactics, and they have just enough skill to always make those games look pretty close.
What's also interesting is, I mean, you noticed there that FX were not tagged up, so they're essentially playing as AGAiN, like they're not playing as frag executors. In fact, we
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have kept calling them that. So I wonder if it is the case that the frag executors organization is having money problems, or if they did just decide to just stop paying them, and then now they've left because they're like annoyed with that. Because if so, like those dudes like picked a bad time to fuck with their team, because now the team just won the event and like beat one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
Although I did feel like from this event, I feel like Navi is like back at the sort of level where I wanted to see them at. Like I don't feel like they have dropped off that much. I think it was just that it was lots of best of one tournaments. Whereas
Yeah,
people
well-
were trying to make out when SK were winning as though SK were like a level above everyone else and no one could beat them, and Navi was like third best team at best, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think like Navi, I feel like they did drop off a tiny bit at the beginning of the year. Like,
Well, true, but I also think
yeah,
by now everyone else has actually stepped up a level as well.
yeah,
Like SK is better now than Fnatic were in the last part of the 2010 when it split up after all those bad results. Just like FX is better now than they were in 2010.
yeah, definitely.
So even if Navi were to play perfect CS to the same degree that they did the year before, they won't necessarily win as many events. It's also going to be fun to see SWC now.
Yeah, ESWC will be pretty competitive. It's kind of disappointing that MTW isn't going to be there. But, I mean, IM New York should also be a pretty interesting tournament, just to see what MTW does at their last tournament together, supposedly. And plus all the American teams want to prove that they can get rounds versus the Euros, so we'll see what they can do there. But ESWC should be super competitive.
And WinFact takes another third at an event.
Yep.
But they also managed to do it without actually beating any of the best teams that they in a best of 3 at the event.
Yeah, so the next event will be IM New York next weekend, correct?
It's like the 13th to the 16th, isn't it?
Yeah. So it should
Which
be...
I'm assuming, yeah, because IEM events are always 4 days. The setup of like Group A, Group B, quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, like 1 day for each of those. But we can't cast IEM, remember, because like ESL will be doing it.
Yeah, of course. So there's no HLTVs, so you get raped.
Anyway, everyone who's listening now, like we're going to shut the stream off now. There's nothing left to talk about. Awesome play by FX, quite good play by Navi, okay play by ASK, pretty decent play by WinFact. I'm probably just going to remember that CT side of FX on Dust 2. That was just so insane.
Yep, definitely one of the best CT sides of all time by FX.
But hopefully we'll do ESWC, so it's like subscribe to the Justin TV channel, justin.tv/winoutnet.
Peace.
This is Ron Rambo Ken showing you how to...
I see one of my teammates spotted.
Keeping this in mind, I now smoke off the bomb chute.
Alex Van Silly from Winout.net with another playbook.
This is Todd Anger Williams from Team Dynamic, and any player that upgrades to Winout Pro is guaranteed to see improvement in their gameplay.
This is Tommy Lurpis Kavanen from Power Gaming. I've been traveling to tournaments all over the world for years now, and the best way to keep up with the latest strats and player trends is by watching Winout playbooks and commentaries.
Hey everyone, this is Connor Cakebuilder Generalcore from Winout.net, bringing you a pro playbook. Today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of different rounds from both Rocket and FX from a match they played against each other on Nuke during the Intel Challenge Super Cup 8. On this gun round, FX runs into lobby and goes straight to their respected spots to flash the inner bomb site as a fake, as they plan to later make their way towards the ramp. This inner fake they ran worked perfectly. Lord is able to pick off Basic, rotating to support his team at inner. After getting that pick, FX all holds their spots. This is a really good habit to get into, not getting antsy and just rushing a site trying to get more immediate picks. Neo is then able to get a pick on the other ramp defender who had just finished spamming, hoping to get a lucky frag after Basic called that the T's were actually going to ramp and not to upper. The T's are now up 5-3 with plenty of time left in the round. Now FX takes a bit of a risk here which pays off as they decide to go upper even after they had already picked 2 players in ramp. Knowing they were up in numbers made it very easy for FX to trade any kills upper, which they did on Lurpis in the rafters. The first and last spawns throw nades outside and make their way into the inner bomb site, meeting up with their 3 teammates. The 3 guys in lobby do a normal inner execute, with one guy opening the squeaky door for the 2 others to flash out of it. Taz, who opens the squeaky, goes into the hut to flash out of it. Once squeaky is closed, they reopen it with their body and flash to the far vent, blinding anyone on the right side of the bomb box or above ladder. Once those flashes are thrown, the T's take control of the inner bomb site and are able to shut down any retake that the CTs have coming their way. Rocket sends one of their first spawns to hold the squeaky door angle for any potential CTs coming through mini taking damage from their nades. The other members of Rocket set up for pushes, with one guy in dark spot holding the HUD push, one guy in radio holding for the ramp push, and one guy in lobby supporting his teammate in dark spot. Lurpis goes on T-roof to try to spam rafters, while everyone still holds in case of aggressive play from FX. 3 of these aggro spotters fall back to outside, leaving the bomb in lobby for their other 2 teammates to grab. Rocket gets ready for an inner flash execution with 2 guys lobby and 3 guys mini. After the first flash goes off, the 3 guys from outside jump through mini towards inner, knowing that the rest of the flashes thrown will not blind them. The CTs have a quick inner retake, which is eventually shut down by a nice double kill. In this next round, we see a few members from Rocket holding lobby once again for an aggressive push, while their other teammates boost onto the Red Rock. These lobby players spam possible CT positions to do some damage, while the 2 outside Ts are making their presence known in preparation for a hit on inner.